Hello everybody, welcome to Canvas tutorial. As I have said that I am going to discuss about the answer key and the solutions as well of some memory based questions related to the CSIR NET examination, which is held on the 26th November. Okay, that is yesterday. Yesterday I have given you the review. If you haven't watched my review, then I will recommend you to watch that. There I have discussed the level of the question paper and a basic overview that this time the question paper was a bit different and it makes this question paper to some extent difficult. And the expected cutoff I have already discussed in that lecture. You can get the link on the description box below. Anyway, so from this video I am going to upload a series of video lectures where we will be discussing about the chemistry as well as the general aptitude questions, and we will see what will be the solution. And you know that these all are memory based questions which I have gathered from not only my experience. I have already got so many recommendations or so many questions from my students as well. So from that perspective I am giving you the solutions of some questions of part A, which are basically the memory based questions, and that is why if you have some different opinion, then I will recommend you to comment below. Okay, anyway, so without a further ado I am going to start. Okay, so this is our first question. It says that, now remember that this is a memory based question, and that is why the language of the question is bit different. So I am just giving you the synopsis that what they have actually asked. Now over here it says that Ramesh, Umar and John, these three persons stays in three houses. Okay, so I am drawing three houses over here. Okay, now it says that one of them is landlord. That means among Ramesh, Umar and John, any one of them is the landlord. And it says that landlord's house is at the corner. So it says that landlord's house could be either this one or this one. Okay, either of them will be the landlord's house. It is not in the middle. Now it says that Ramesh and John are not in adjacent houses and Ramesh is not in the middle. So it basically says that Ramesh is not present in the middle. So Ramesh either present in the left side or in the right side. And it also says that Ramesh and John are not present in the two adjacent houses. That means John cannot present in the middle because Ramesh is already present either of the side, either it is left side or right side. So if Ramesh present in left building, so John will be in the right building, and if Ramesh is in the right side building, then John will be the left side building. So unanimously Umar will present in the middle. Okay, and now the question is that the one in the left is not the landlord. So it says that landlord cannot be the left one. So only the one who resides in the right side house or the rightmost house is the landlord, and John's house is not at the right. So it basically says that John is not present at this side. So this probability or possibility rules out, and only option is that Ramesh present in the right side house, John is in the left corner and Umar in the middle. And so who is your landlord? Your landlord will be your Ramesh. So the answer to this question is Ramesh. Okay, this is the detailed solution of the first question. Okay, so let's move on to our second question. This is a very good question and a bit more confusing, but if you just break this question by some very simple algebraic function, then it will be very much easy to you. Now it says that there is a bag and a box, okay, and it is a table. This one basically a table. Okay, I am using the different color so that you understand. So this is a table, this one is a table. Okay, now it says that there is a bag just below the table and a box is present on the table. This is one arrangement, and if bag is present and if bag is present over here, then the box will be here. Okay, so this is the arrangement. Now it says that from this tip, okay, from the top of the bag to the top of the box, this height is 68 meter or whatever centimeter, I don't know exactly the unit, and the height from the top of this box and the top of the bag is 82. What is the height of the table? That means they are basically asking what is the height of table. So the most important is that the unknown parameter, I am taking it as x. So let us, the height of the table is x, and height of the bag, suppose the height of the bag is a, capital A, and height of the box is small a. Okay, so this is my assumption. Now how can you break this system in this way, that if this height is capital A, height of the bag is capital A, so this distance or this height is nothing but your x minus capital A, okay, and the height of the box is small a. So I can combine and form my equation that this small a is the height of the box and x minus capital A is a gap, is this gap. So that is why 68 is equals to a plus x minus a. Okay, it is basically your it is basically your a plus x minus a. Now another equation I can form over here, that this height is small a, the height of the box, and this height is capital A. So this one, this gap is basically x minus small a. Okay, okay, I am writing it in a different ink so that you can understand. Okay, so this height is your x minus small a, because small a is this part. So x minus small a plus a means this one, it is equal to your 82. These are the two equations. Now from these two equations you can easily say that now I am going to add them. So if I add these two, okay, by adding these two, you will get over here it will be 150, and over here a minus a cancel out, minus a plus a cancel out, so 2x. So x has a value of 75, and this will be your answer. This is your answer. So it, I think the unit was meter, so it will be 75 meter. Okay, let's move on to our next question. Now what it says, that it is a very elementary question from your class 10th level trigonometry, that it says that a man of height 2 meter, okay, a man has height 2 meter, it is standing in front of a house which is 40 meter tall. Okay, height of the house is 40 meter. Now it looks at the top, at the tip of this house, at an angle of 45 degree, at an angle of 45 degree. Okay, now what you can see, that over here it is a 45 degree. Now did you remember one basic equation, that from the right angle triangle, okay, so you can say that if this is a theta and I take the value of tan theta is equals to the height or the height of the perpendicular and the base, so a by b, this is the expression for the tan theta. And you can also say that tan theta is equals to your sin theta by cos theta. Only this information is required to solve this question. Okay, now okay, let's move on to our question, that if the man has height 2 meter, okay, so this height is 2 meter, so this height will be 38 meter. My drawing is not good anyway, so this is 38 meter, so this height is there basically 38 meter. And if you consider the triangle formed over here, so it's a right angle triangle, and you can say that it is a tan 45 degree is equals to this height basically, this height is not 40 meter, remember, because man is already 2 meter tall. So the new triangle formed, now it has a height of your 38 meter. So you can say that it is your 38 divided by this distance. You can think that this distance is x, so it is divided by x. Okay, tan 45, you know that sin 45 has the value, sin 45 has a value of 1 by root 2, so is the value of cos 45 degree. So tan 45 degree has a value of 1, so x is 38. So this distance is nothing but your 38 meter. But this is not the answer of the question, because it says that now the man moves away and looks at the tip with an angle of 30 degree. Okay, with an angle of 30 degree. Angle of 30 degree. Now what it says that now the man moves away, suppose in this position, and now he looks at the top. Okay, it says that now the new angle is decreased to 30 degree. It says that how many meter he moved away. This is a basic question. That means they are basically asking what is the distance between this one. Okay, now let us consider the new triangle. The similar formula I am going to apply over here. This is your new triangle. Okay, the new triangle also has a height of 38 meter, but the angle is different. It is now 30 degrees. So from this new triangle I can say tan 30 degree is equals to height is 38 meter and divided by x. X I have already taken, so it is your, I think it's better to take y. Okay, y is the total length. Okay, now remember this is the total length. I am just considering this length over here, this length. So what is the value of y? Y is equals to 38 by tan 30. Now tan 30, you know that sin 30 degree has a value of half, and cos 30 degree has a value of root 3 by 2. So tan 30 degree will be sin by cos, so it will be 1 by root 3. Okay, so 1 by tan 30 degree means it is basically root 3. So 38 divided by 1 by root 3, so it is 38 root 3. Okay, this is the total distance. Now if we consider the figure, then you can easily say that what is the distance between this point to this point, because overall the distance, this is y, overall y is 38 root 3 and the initial distance was 38. So this is your answer. If you take the common of 38, so it will be root 3 minus 1, put root 3 as 1.732 minus 1, so 38 into 0.732, so it will be approximately 28. So this will be your answer of this question. Pretty simple, but it's a bit lengthy. That is the point. This time question paper was not that much difficult, but the lengthy calculation and very minor change in the pattern make it so difficult, and most of the students know the concept, but there's a huge difficulty in approaching. What will be the approach? Because I am solving this question right here. So without any exam pressure, you also, some of you can easily find it out. But whenever you have only 180-minute time and you have to solve a huge number of chemistry questions, and after that when you look at the general aptitude question, then it's much difficult to go via the proper way. So that is the most important thing for this NET examination, that this time examiners just played with your mind, and they actually want to know that what will be the correct presence of your mind and what will be the your choice of question, because choice of question matters a lot. You can think that someone has read a lot, he had studied a lot, but the choice of question was different, and that is why due to only the difficult choice, and he may not qualify even. So that is the most important thing for this NET examination. It's very unique. Okay, so let's move on to our next question. This says that a triangle has a side of A, B and C, and it has a equation following this equation. Okay, now what is the type of the triangle, whether it will be right angle or isosceles equilateral, what it is. Okay, now from here I can easily find out the value of ABC, because you know that x square plus y square plus z square is equals to 0. So it is only true if x is equals to 0, y is equals to 0 and z equals to 0. So this could be one possibility. So if for the same case, x minus a square plus y minus b square plus z minus c square equals to 0, that means individually x minus a equals to 0, y minus b equals to 0, so z minus c equals to 0. Now look at the question, it is nothing but this type of equation. So over here a minus 15 square is equals to 0, a minus 15 will be equals to 0. From this expression b minus 18 equals to 0, and from this expression c minus, not 18, I am sorry, it is 8, and c minus 17 equals to 0. Okay. So you can easily say that a is equals to 15, b equals to 8 and c equals to 17. Now only by getting this value it is difficult to understand, but let's check the condition of the Pythagoras theorem. You know that Pythagoras theorem says that if it is a right angle triangle and a is the height, b is the base and the c is the hypotenuse, then c square is equals to a square plus b square. So let's check that whether this expression follows this kind of relation or not. Now 17 square is equals to 289. Okay. Now b square, that means the 8 square, that means it will be your 64, and a square, that means 15 square, it will be your 225. If you add these two, it will be 289. Okay. So it actually follows the Pythagoras theorem. So basically your correct answer will be this one. It is a right angle triangle. It is a right angle triangle. This is your answer. Fine. Okay, let's move on to our next question. It was based on the graph. It says that which city has the highest and which one has the lowest per capita GDP, and there were cities like A, B, C, D. They depicted these cities as A, B, C, D. A, B, C, D. The total GDP has been given and what is the population. So you know that per capita GDP means total GDP of this city divided by the population. Now from this graph you have to just to compare. Okay. Now this is not the graph which was depicted, because if we only get the exact pattern of the graph, then only we can understand. But as far as I remember that the highest value of per capita GDP, highest will be for your city A and lowest will be for your city C. This would be the answer of that question. Okay. Now once we get the response sheet, and after that I will discuss this question in details. Okay, so let's wait for that. Now moving on to our next question, and it's a very beautiful question, because a very minor calculation can give you the correct answer. So here it says that the average of 22 digit numbers, 2-digit number means from 10 to 99. So you can take 2 digits numbers, and that 20 numbers has some average, and it says that that average is decreases by 1.8 when we interchange the 2 digit of one number. What actually it says that, suppose you are taking the value 15, and if you interchange the digits, then you can find 51. Okay. Or you can take suppose 13 and you are interchanging the value 31. So now it says that there is a decrease. So initially you had the larger value, okay, and after that you are getting the lower value. It says that when you are doing this kind of operation, that by interchanging the 2 digits of one number, then what it actually say that there is a overall decrease in the average by 1.8. So what is the total decrease? There are 20 numbers and overall decrease in the average is 1.8, so total decrease is 36. And the option, the question was that what is the difference between the 2 digits of that number. Okay. Now the options were something like that, it will be 1 or 2 or 3 or 4, this is something like that. Now what you can see, that you can by simply taking hypothetical 2-digit number and just check one by one option wise. Okay, suppose I am taking 32. I am taking 32. Now what is the difference between these 2 digits? Is the difference is 1. Okay, and now I am interchanging these two, that means I am taking 23. So if I subtract it, what I can get, the value is 9. So instead of 32, if I take 23, then the average will decrease, but the total decrease will be 9. So it does not match with our statement. Now suppose I am taking 42. Okay, 42 minus 24. Now what actually is happening over here? It will be 8 and 18. Okay, so 18 does not match with the 36. Now I am taking 52 and 25, because now the difference between these two digits is now 3. In this case it was 2. So overall in this case what we can see, that the difference is 27. Now I am taking 62, where the difference between the two digits are 4, and now I am subtracting it with the 26 by interchanging the two digits, and you are getting 6 and 3, so 36 over here. So instead of 62 is a hypothetical digit anyway, so instead of 62, if you take 26, then the value will decrease by 36, and that is occurring over here. So your answer will be option 4, not option 4, actually the answer will be 4. I don't know in which option it was given. So the difference between the two digits will be 4. Now did you remember, I have already given you this expression, this two digits, that is here 15 and 51. You can see that over here the difference between the two digits are 4. Now here also if you subtract 15 from 51, you are getting 36. So your statement is correct, and it is goes according to your statement. So your correct answer will be 4. Okay, let's move on to our next question. And this is a very pretty simple question. It says that rupees 96 is to be shared equally by a group of students, but 4 of them did not contribute. So rest of them had to pay rupees 4 extra each, and that is why how many students contributed. So this is the main question, that 96 rupees has to be shared equally. Okay, so what I can say, that if the total number of students is suppose x, and 96 is the amount which has to be paid by them, so 96 by x, this is the amount to be paid by each student. Now if 4 of them did not contribute, that means now this 96, now the number of students is decreased to x minus 4. So 96 by x minus 4 is the amount to be paid right now when 4 of them is not contributing. Now it says that now each of student has to pay 4 rupees extra. So you can say that this 96 by x plus 4 is equals to 96 by x minus 4. Okay, so if you solve this equation, then you will find that the x has a value of 12. Okay, x has a value of 12, but don't mark the answer 12, because in one option there will be 12. It says that how many students contributed. Remember, the number of students contributed is 4 less than that. So number of students contributed will be 8. Okay. Now you can cross verify this one by saying that suppose there are 12 students and 96 rupees is to be shared by them. So each student should pay rupees 8, but now 4 of them is not paying. So now there are only 8 students. So now there are only 8 students. So now 96 by 8 is equals to your 12. So now if you can check that here each student has to pay 4 rupees extra. Okay, so this is actually your answer. So how many students contributed? 8 of them has contributed. Okay, so these are the solutions of some very important questions from your group A. Tomorrow we will be discussing about the the part B solution, part B and part C questions. I don't know in which part those questions were, but I am going to add the solutions of different questions from tomorrow. Okay, so be with us and just keep following Canvas tutorial. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, then I will request you to subscribe to this channel. This is a common platform for your NET and GATE examination preparation. So thank you. Happy learning.